Thompson, who plays Patrick on General Hospital.
Hello, everybody.
How are you? So, the night shift finale is coming up. How do you feel about doing 2 shows at once? Are you glad that it's wrapping up, or?
A little bit bittersweet. I had a really good time doing night shift this year, and I think we had a great cast, and the show really came across. And I had a great time last year. Also, it was just a little bit of a different situation with different cast members and stuff. So it was a new challenge that I was really looking forward to, and I'm really happy with the way it came across. So I'm not necessarily happy that it's over, but it might be a little bit easier on the brain, and that I'm just concentrating just on General Hospital right now, but I'm looking forward to doing night shift again.
All right, perfect. And so what can you tell me about your documentary called Victory Over Darkness?
Yeah, we're looking for distribution right now for the documentary, feature film length documentary, and it's an amazing story. I had the privilege of screening it in Los Angeles, and a lot of cast members and a couple close friends came, and they really responded to it, so I'm really looking forward to hopefully getting it out so everybody can see it.
Great. And you want to give a little background on it, what it's about?
It's about these 3 amazing, inspirational human beings that basically make history by competing in the very first Ironman, and they're all blind athletes, and no blind athlete has ever competed in an Ironman, and so they have a guide, and it's just a 17-hour most grueling race, and my partner and I follow them from basically a year prior and follow them up into the day of the triathlon, and just follow them in their lives and their daily routines, being blind in the world we live in today, and let alone doing the triathlon.
Okay, great. And now turning the tables to Patrick.
Yeah.
So are you getting married, and you guys both propose to each other, and you got the baby coming? What's going on?
Yes, there's a lot going on in Patrick and Robin's world. We're getting married, there's a baby coming, and just everything else that happens on a daily level is kind of coming all at once. So it should be exciting. I hope fans are excited about it as much as Kimberly and I are. I really think it's a special time for Kimberly. She's been playing this character for a very long time, and the weight of some of the issues that she's been playing for that long is kind of coming to its peak right now. So I think it's a very special time for General Hospital and really for Robin fans, and especially for Robin and Patrick fans also.
Now you're gonna get to take in any of the sites in Boston while you're up here? Or you...
Nope.
Not
My
at all.
site is, I got in at 7 o'clock this morning, so I'm going to do this, and I'm leaving at 6 o'clock in the morning. So it's the only site I'll see are my lovely fans that have been joining me today, and a couple other cast members, and then back to the site of the back, another seat in front of me as I fly back to LA.
There you go. Thank you so much, Jason.
Absolutely. See you.
Hi. How are you? Good morning. What time? No, it's not morning yet. I'm not even sure what time it is. We got in pretty early this morning. Got in like 7:30, Bradford and I. And Julie. We walked. Took us forever. So what's going on? That's good. You guys all, who's anybody from out of town here besides Boston? Yeah? Wow, okay. It's not a very clear question. Who's the furthest, let's say that? Where are you from?
Ontario, Canada.
That's pretty far.
Quebec, Canada.
That's pretty far also. I think I got you though. Edmonton, Canada. Yeah, so Boston won last night, right? That's a good thing. I was glad because I didn't want to console Brad for the whole flight over here. He was weeping and sobbing. That was a little embarrassing, actually. But yeah, what else is going on for me? Nothing too crazy. Night shift is over. Did you guys watch it? Last year? I think it was this year, last year that I got shit from. I got booed last year. Straight from Europe for 2 weeks, I come back to America and I get booed.
Not you, the story.
That was fun.
Yeah.
So we finished last week. It was, you guys are in for a treat the last episode too. It's pretty phenomenal. There's a lot of, for people that watch General Hospital and Robert Scorpio starring in a few days, he's doing an amazing job, isn't he? Phenomenal. We're very fortunate to have them come, and it's an amazing last episode. It's a treat for sure. So we're really excited about that. I think I forget what episode. Was it 11 this Tuesday? 12 already? 12 already. Wow, goes fast. But yeah, so that's that. I'm getting married, I think. But I didn't say yes yesterday, did I?
Why?
You know. Huh?
Why?
She did it to me. It's only fair, isn't it? Gotta get her back. Gotta keep control. No, I mean, I think it kind of made sense, but I think we'll come around. We'll,
Go Matt next week.
go, yeah, Mac, yeah, that's right. Mac takes control.
Yeah.
That's always fun. John York's always fun to work with. It's a loose cannon, that guy. But does anybody have any questions for me or anything? Or do you want me to just sit here and talk about my dog or something? Yeah.
How does it feel having a brother?
I was born with an older brother. And then I have a younger brother also. It's, I don't know yet. I mean, we found out and then we kind of went separate way, I guess. Which isn't necessarily surprising a lot of times, but I think there's, I mean, I talked to Bob and Jill about it. There's just so much going on right now that we haven't really dealt with it. But yesterday we had some good scenes together and we kind of talk about it a little bit more. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's, I mean, it's going to be nice to just not be so focused on Robin and Patrick and the baby all the time. I mean, I've loved this story. I've had a really, really good time. But anything else that we can bring another level, I think it's going to be good. And Jason's a great guy, and I don't know if Noah's going to be coming back or what, so I hope so at some point. But yeah, it's good. I think it's going to be fun to play with. And he shaved too, so you can actually see resemblance. Yes.
How much medical terminology do you need to know for playing the role of the neurologist?
Quite a bit.
Prepping you up.
Well, at times it depends on night shift. We had to do a lot more just because I think it's a little bit of a different show. But yeah, really, we have a medical consultant on set, and you know, I obviously have my script a couple days before. Whether I look at it or not is a different story. But it kind of depends on how busy I am that day or that week, I should say.
I don't think they'll like the idea if you're not looking at it carefully. Kate's legs are in jeopardy.
Yeah.
I don't think you don't want to mess with Sonny.
Yeah. Somebody's going to piggyback her for the rest of his life. Yeah, no, something less. Yeah, no, something less. That's what I thought.
What kind of dad do you want them to write you as? Like bumbling dad or overcautious dad? Or...
Jeez, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, just real would be nice. You know, I think there's so much going on with him, and I think he's going to be a good dad, realistically. I think I'll just kind of focus in on him. I think he's going to become, I think he's the type of guy where he's really passionate about certain things. Obviously, you kind of see it with racing. You see it with his schooling when he was in school and now his profession. So I think it's really going to hit home for him. He's really going to become passionate about being a good father. He's really going to be a good father, realistically. I mean, there's obviously going to be moments where he's not sure what he's going to, or how, or what to do, or be a fish out of water, obviously, like anybody would be. But I think he's going to be a good father. I'm pretty sure he was. I think he should quit work and just stay home and be Mr. Mom. Jason would love that. More about Patrick, but Jason would like that. Yeah.
Is it true they're going to name the baby Hunter after Matt? Because supposedly he helped deliver the baby.
Oh, no,
Is
that's
this
not going to happen.
Okay.
That's one thing I can definitely say is not going to happen. I know the name of the baby.
Isn't it Alyssa Rose?
Well, we talked about that, but I don't know if it's going to, well, I do know, but I can't tell you. No, it's not going to be that either. It's a good name. Yeah, it's a really good name. I like it. Patrick does too.
Have you settled on the last name of the baby yet?
Yes.
I know better to ask what it is, though.
Steak or something. What could we name? I don't know. Yes.
Are Patrick and Robin going to have a new place to live once they get married, or are they going to put the baby in the closet?
Yeah.
I think we're all going to live in this storage closet, so it might be a little cramped, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. You know, gas prices nowadays. I don't know what we'll
You can put
see.
your baby in the closet.
I know, right? Actually, funny enough, good friends of mine, he just called me when I was standing outside. Him and his wife had the baby in the closet for probably like 6 months. It was perfect though. It looked cozy, honestly. I went in there and I was like, this isn't bad. It's better than I lived in for like 5 years when I first got to LA. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
How fast was the turnaround between the time you found out that night shift was picked up for a second season and the time that you guys actually started production?
It was roughly, geez, how long was it? I don't even know when we finished. When did we finish? It was close to a year, I think, by the time we finished shooting and started, or, yeah, it was close to, I think, a year from when we finished and started the new one. I don't know when. They kind of talked about it, they talked about doing it again, and then we kind of, you know, then it went further and further, and then, but realistically, it was only like a month from when we found out, okay, we're definitely doing this, and we start in at this time. But I'm pretty sure that we're going to do it again. From what I've heard, we're going to do a third season again with, and hopefully sooner the better, because then we can keep the same crew and cast and just kind of keep going. I think they wanted to do more episodes on this one also, but it just got to a point where the head writer, Sri, just kind of, you know, he planned out doing 13. And once you start that, you can't really change it at episode 10 and kind of keep it going. So he asked me to do like 4 or 5 more, and he just said, no, I can only come up with 2 more. So then we did the 14th episode A and B type thing. And from what I've heard, I think we're going to do more. So I hope that it's sooner than later for us, because we got a great cast. I'm sure a lot of them are going to go separate ways and just kind of get another job. And funny enough, good friends of mine just called me.
You know, you as an actor, and also have loved the Robert and Patrick stuff, and I was wondering.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Oh, it's been great.
Yeah.
What your take was on those scenes, and how you think Robert views Patrick, and how does Patrick view Robert?
Tristan and I should say, talked about this a little bit, because you know, we're both giving each other a hard time, Patrick and Robert, a little bit back and forth. And he's like, so what do you think here? Just little Tristan. And so we talked about it, and I'm like, you know, I think, well, from what I have to, you know, you're a very protective guy, you know, but at the same time, I think deep down there's a part of you that's not exactly happy with yourself for not being there, and I think you're trying to make up for it a little bit by protecting it. And but at the same time, I think at the end he kind of comes around and he realizes that Patrick really, really does love Robin and would never do anything purposely or hurt her. But it's been a fascinating time. There's been so many great storylines that I've been able to play. It's been so much fun. I mean, I've looked so forward to going to work every day with those scripts, because I've had a really great time with everybody. Everybody I get to work with that day, I'm really excited about. And just, you know, the different levels of playing Chief, not sure if he wants to be Chief, and responsibility, and then, you know, and everything. And it's just been a really good time. As far as being on set, it's been different, because I feel, I kind of took it upon myself, and I talked to Kimberly about it when we first started, just kind of like, you know, this is, and by no means is it our show. I really do feel like it's an ensemble cast, and we have a great cast, but I think a lot of those people, they hadn't really worked in this genre yet. And so I just kind of said to her, I was like, you know, we should probably just really try and be, you know, step up a little bit and say, hey, is there anything that we can do? You know, and I just tried to lead by example, because I've realized, being on General Hospital and other work, that when people are in a situation of, for lack of a better word, power, and how they handle themselves is a direct reflection of the way everybody else handles themselves a lot of times. And if people look up to you and you are the one, and I'm not saying this happens on General Hospital, but I've just seen it at times, and if you're the one that people look up to and all of a sudden you're bitching and complaining and stomping your feet and everything, and it gives an excuse for everybody else to do that. So I really focused on just being there, prepared, focusing on the work, trying to be in a great mood. And I mean, even when I wasn't working, I would be out there watching other people's scenes and being like, hey, great job. you know, and then, you know, it opened up the doors for them to talk about the work, to talk about the character and all that kind of stuff, and I really enjoyed doing that with them. It's like, I feel like Ethan in the beginning had a really hard time with the doctor because he's like, people are gonna hate me, you know, and I'm just like, yeah, but think about it this way, like, you know, you're just being honest, and I mean, I promise you, I know this well enough. I'm not saying I know what I'm talking about completely, but it's going to come around, and they're going to see the reasons why you were doing some of the things you're doing in the beginning, and it's just, you know, it gives you many more levels. And because I think it's tough as actors, because fans in such a great way are very, very vocal. It's hard to hear sometimes that people don't like you, that you're being an ass, or that whatever, oh, I hate that guy. You do take it personally sometimes, as much as you don't want to, and there are personal attacks sometimes, which is very unfortunate, but at the same time, it's, you know, you gotta try and play the character true and not worry about that, and trust the writers and producers, and sometimes that gets difficult, but you have to. And so it's been fun to try and be, I don't know, maybe a little bit of a bigger brother, but at the same time, it was completely infectious to see the way these people showed up for work every day. They loved being there. They were very, very happy to have a job, and even guest stars like Chad Allen, like he's been working since he was like 10 years old, and he was like, dude, this is probably the best set I've ever been on. Like he told people, I ran into people out in Los Angeles, is one of the managers or something that came up to me and said, hey, I just want to let you know that Chad loves being at work with you guys. And I was like, man, that's, and Billy D's been working for how long? And the last day, he was just like, man, I'm really gonna miss coming here. That's Billy D. Williams. You know, this little show that realistically, a lot of it was just like this Robin and Patrick character. I mean, it's, Kimberly and I sat back one day and like, isn't it weird that these two characters that we kind of, well, she started long time ago, but just come on. Like, I mean, it's kind of weird that we're kind of in a roundabout way, and I'm not being pompous here by any means, but a lot of people are working because of these two characters. And I think that's fascinating. I think it's really, really special. And I think it's a really special time for the Robin character right now, too. Like, with that show and the fact that she's come from that little, well, little girl to, you know, getting this new show, and now she's pregnant with HIV and she's getting married. I just think it's a really special time for that character. And I'm just, you know, glad to be riding the coattails on it, really.
They're addressing the issues, a lot of the issues that we wanted to see on General Hospital, they're addressing them on night shift. It's great.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons why it started, because I mean, Brian said this, he's like, I just think there's more to you guys, and I need to find a way to get that out. And, you know, I mean, there's just not as much time on General Hospital to do. We have a much smaller cast, we still have an hour to play with, but, you know, these stories are about the hospital and the characters that are with it. We don't go all over the place like you do on General Hospital. We just don't have the time and the space on General Hospital to talk about all those issues. So it's been great for their relationship. It's been great for me. Hopefully it's been great for me. Hopefully.
They got you involved in AIDS charities, and who's coming to the
No, that's how long do you have? I could go on for hours with that. It has changed my life in so many ways. It's really quite, I don't know, it's interesting to look back. I don't look back a lot. I think I should probably more often, but it's been just weird, realistically. It has changed in a way that being involved with things like this, as all of things like the AIDS walk and everything, is you don't you help so many people that you don't really realize until you go and see. And I mean, that goes for you guys too. I mean, it's phenomenal the amount. We hosted, well, Kimberly, I was sick a couple days ago, I couldn't make it, but Kimberly and I are the #1 team in Los Angeles right now, and she hosted the little kickoff party and said a couple words and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's amazing. All of Los Angeles, that our team is the #1 team in LA, says a lot about you guys' support and everything. And so it's just to be part of, to feel that you can do something with the focus that people give you a lot of times. I think it's obviously a responsibility that you have, that I have, I should say, and Kimberly also, and the fact that we've taken the time and effort along with you guys and to kind of do something positive for something that has obviously affected our storyline and our characters. It's, you know, it's just great to be a part of it. And even the other hockey celebrity games that I do and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's so much fun to be a part of those things. I mean, I love playing hockey, obviously, but to go and to meet some of these kids that we're helping and the Ronald McDonald kids, and, you know, it's it's sad to see them. When you were there last year, they're still there, and they're not sick, but they just see you and they're like so happy to see you and thank you so much for coming, and they have such a great time at the hockey game, and then you go the next year and they're not there, so you're either like, okay, what happened? They're healthy or they're just not around anymore, so it's difficult at times also, but the fact that you can get behind something and really try and make a difference in the world is nice. But we couldn't do it without your guys' support, so I mean, it's fascinating that you guys are like that for us. As far as the hockey, well, I mean, I don't know, I think the Oilers are going to be good this year. Do I think they're going to win the Stanley Cup? No, I think Detroit has another really good chance of doing it again this year. They picked up another, they just seem to get better every year, which is difficult. How are you?
I'm good. I'm
Say hi to
good.
everybody.
Hello, everybody. I just have to ask, because I was at Bradford's event a little earlier, and how many native Bostonians are in this room? That's just, I was walking around after Bradford's event. I went to get some chowder. And I had 2 bowls, and crab cakes, and fried calamari, and clams.
Wow.
Now I'm having a nap. This is the most gorgeous city I think I've ever been in my life. And I've been in a lot. I've been in a few, and it's like, this, as I said, when I woke up this morning, I looked out the window and I could see. There's no smog. And I just have to applaud you guys. You guys have got one of the best cities, and I've never been to New England.
Wow.
I know, because Manhattan doesn't count. For anything. It does, but it's prohibitively expensive and it's ridiculous. But this is it's just so gorgeous. This city is so gorgeous, and I've decided I'm going to live on Beacon Hill. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm going to do it. So I just wanted to come in and say hello.
Well, thanks for doing that.
Well, my pleasure. Do you know that I was trying to think, it's like, well, I represented you, didn't I?
Yeah. You got me custody of my unborn child.
That's what chowder will do to you. It makes you sleepy and forget things, isn't it? But I was thinking about that, going, no, wait a minute. Robin is so close to Sonny. So why am I representing you? I did sort of find that fascinating. If you really kind of think about it, it's like, wouldn't I have represented Robin? Anyway, that's a question for Bob Guzzo. I'm going to give this back. And I have many.